I was put on this today. You got to listen to it. We're going to talk about Ebola, but listen to this shit first.
Crazy. Of sickness. The government is mismanaged. The people who ran the nation are now leaving the nation because black folk don't know how to run no nation. They don't know how. And we need to admit it. I know you don't like it, but you need to stop shucking and jiving. We got a problem. Nigeria produces oil every year, yet the children over there are hungry and pot-bellied and walking barefoot. We got a problem. You talk about the Hutus and the Tutsis. Look what's going on in Zimbabwe now with Mugabe. We got a problem, black folk. And forget about Zimbabwe and South Africa, Nigeria. Look at what y'all have done in Harlem. You can't even hold on to Harlem.
What is?
We got a problem. Black folk don't understand the world. You can get mad with me all you want. You can say what you, but you can't prove me wrong. Now, I'm not saying this because I hate black folk. I'm saying it because I love you enough to tell the truth. And the only person going to ever help us get out of the situation is going to be God. There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind. He does not understand the world. He doesn't. I don't care if he learned medicine. He doesn't understand the world. He can't even hold on to Harlem. When he was here, he moved out. We got to talk to the Lord. People, we got to talk to God. And black women, Shirley Chisholm, Harriet Tubman, Coretta King, one of her boys. Yeah, okay, then we got a black president.
Oh, man.
But you black women, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all gonna let that white woman, what's wrong with you black women voting for Barack? Don't you understand? It should have been a black room if you're gonna have a black president. What's wrong with you? Y'all ain't got no sense, you black women. Your men treat you like the dogs, like your dogs. They walk all over you. They make you pay the bills at home. And then the preachers pimp you in the churches and make you pay the bills. Y'all crazy black women buying these black men private jets. The tune of $50 million for a nigga to ride around in a private jet. And you talking about, look at our pastor. What's wrong with y'all women? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
No, I can't do it.
And what's wrong with a black man?
I can't. Listen. My friend sent this to me. I don't support none of his views or this, you know, whatever. Listen, do you believe everything you hear on the news? And this is a real question because understanding a little bit what he was talking about, even though I don't support none of that shit, I don't listen to his own opinion and all that. There's a lot of people who don't understand the news. They can't tell you the importance of the NASDAQ. They don't know about what's going on in other countries, nor do they care. They can't tell you anything about inflation, you know. And you ask yourself, how would we be educated as a whole outside of the news if there wasn't an Ebola outbreak? Here's the thing. I'm not the type of guy when I see on the news, yes, Ebola is contained and we got all that. Now, I'm not going to be no conspiracy theorist. I'm not saying that it's more Ebola out there, patients out there than it is. But I'm saying that they're not going to tell us the truth. They're not going to tell us the truth. There's going to be somebody upstairs, you know, that say, okay, we're going to keep this away from the public here, release this statement. I don't believe none of that shit. So let's talk about Ebola. I've been studying Ebola for like the last probably about 6 weeks or so. It is said that Ebola is transferred through bodily fluids. So, example, an Ebola patient has the worst diarrhea you can ever have known to man. So that's a lot of shit. So if you're an Ebola patient, God forbid, and you're so weak because you're constantly dehydrating, you're constantly shitting, where's that shit going? And then the nurses, of course, you have to clean yourself. Well, somebody has to clean you if you can't do it yourself, because they're not going to sit there and let you fester in your feces. That's Ebola. Somebody spit on you. Ebola. That's why when, like, I be on a train, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, if somebody cough, I just go. But then when I cough, people be like, I be trying to hold it. I be like, they be like, they either say just get up. This is some scary shit, man. But you ask yourself, okay, they cured these two Caucasian nurses. They cured these two Caucasian nurses, and I'm not playing a race card, hear me. But then that dude Duncan, they're allowed to die. They tell us that it's only a little bit of the Ebola super serum. We don't have it. So you cure these two people, but then you mean to tell me you can't start whipping up batches to save the world? Really? Like, really? Now, what is wrong with the world? Like, realistically. Like, so you can cure these two people. Just like, okay, we're going to bring you over here, cure the shit out of you. But then if everybody else catch that shit, it's like, nah. Then Ebola patients or people who have Ebola but don't know it, they're flying around the world. So, you know, you can get somebody going, you can get somebody to go to London, get somebody to go to Canada, get somebody to go to the South Pole. They just flying around the world. But what are they telling us? What are they telling us? What are they telling us? That it's not going to be an outbreak. Now, here's the thing I'm concerned about. Here's the thing I'm concerned about. Like the water supply. Like shit like that. You know, so you allow to come over here. You allow these people to come over. And I'm not saying, listen, I'm saying that as an American, if you're in another country and you catch some type of crazy disease, your country, no matter who you are, should come and pick you up and give you the same treatment they would anybody else. Put you in a little jet with the bubble in it. You know, the little, you know, had the people with the suits and everything. So I'm not saying that if people catch you should leave them out of the country. At the same time, they should get, you know, taken care of. So it's difficult because you get paranoid. Well, me, I'm kind of a hypochondriac anyway. So you think like, okay, well, you start putting together scenarios like, okay, well, what if somebody came over knowing they had that shit and knowing they had 21 days? Now, here's what they say. It takes about 21 days, basically, before you really start showing. Now, how it starts, you start with like something like the flu, you know, so, you know, dirty tissues and the coughing and everything like that. Then, you know, you run into the bathroom, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, like you're sick. So then the flu just doesn't get any better. Some get rashes. Some get like rashes to the point where the skin is like it's burnt. It starts bubbling up to the point like filling with pus. I'm talking about big ass, you know. You get them on like on your body, certain parts. You get them on your face. You start bleeding from every hole on your body you can possibly bleed through. You bleed through your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your penis hole, your urethra, your anus. While that's going on, you just shitting. And I'm just keeping it 100. We're talking, we homies. We all cool. You shitting all day. So you eat and you shit. So what happens is you die from like dehydration. Your immune system, your body is fighting off that virus, but trying to, you know, like cleanse, but it's just in there just fucking shit up. Now, the origin of Ebola, this is what it said. This is what it is said. Ebola is man-made. Is it man-made? Some believe it is. Some believe it isn't. But it is definitely traced back to monkeys. Little monkeys. You know how it get from the monkeys to the people? See, what happened is you may have a bat, right? A big-ass African jungle bat. He got some Ebola because he ate some Ebola fruit from an Ebola monkey, and it's like a cycle. So you get this bat. Let's say this bat bite. Let's say this bat bites something like a what would it be in the jungle? I don't know. I'm saying antelope. I don't think antelope. Let's say it bites some type of buffalo. And I know you're gonna think like what I'm gonna say next, but and let's say a gorilla eats that buffalo. And then you got people who kill a gorilla, eat him. Bushmeat. That's what it's called, bushmeat. Like, you know, like bat is bushmeat, little monkeys, chimps is bushmeat. What else? Like roadkill is considered bushmeat, like picking up a raccoon, like a wild ass raccoon, bushmeat. So what's going on is you got these poor undeveloped nations dealing with something like this, and it's spreading amongst these people. Why? Because they're handling the bodies. It's not the medical facilities and staff over there, they're not equipped to handle like all these people within a 3 week period, 3 week to a month period, just dying and catching all the same shit. And then the people that were handling them at first, they wasn't using the proper gloves and all that shit. So now they got it. Then all the doctors die. And the nurses die within a month. You know, then you got to get more. Then you got to try to get people there. And then you're hearing, if you're a doctor or a nurse, you go over there to try to help people. And guess what? They say, oh, well, we don't got those suits that the government got. So what you do is take all these gloves and get this duct tape and start wrapping that shit all around. But all it takes is for you to be like this close, deal with somebody, and somebody go, just, now they say it's not airborne, and they say you can't catch it from being close to someone, but from fluids. If it touches your skin. So if just a little piece of poop touches your skin, you're done. Just the tiniest piece of poop. That's how real that Ebola shit is. Shit ain't no joke. But I just realized that there's a lot of people who don't understand the world. They don't understand like how you gotta how when stuff like this happens, you have to educate yourself. When I'm hearing that it's some deadly disease that's making you shit up, like shit your whole life away, nah, I gotta stay away from that. You know, so as far as me going anywhere, listen, I'm already, like I said, I'm already a paranoid, hypochondriac, insomniac. So I see people like the homeless people, and I don't discriminate, and I be like, man, that's an easy target for Ebola. I don't know. I just feel like talking about Ebola. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Let me see if I'm forgetting anything. No, I don't think I am. But people are saying, oh, let me talk about the conspiracies. So it's these coffin liners, these coffin looking things. Now, I'm sure you probably seen them or you probably heard of it before. Now, just Google like FEMA coffins. So it's like hundreds of thousands of them, maybe millions of them. So the conspiracy theorists are saying like, oh, Ebola is here now for population control. And then that's what those FEMA coffins are for, because of martial law. And the martial law is going to be because they're going to take everybody guns because of gun control. And, you know, and it just keeps going on and on and on to the point where I say, well, even though I watch all that shit and listen to it, I be like, well, man, if it happens, it happens. You know, I'm going to ride. Like, as far as you're not going to fuck with my liberties. But as far as that's concerned, I'm like, man, if it happens. It's about putting people, just rounding up people, putting them in concentration camps. And I'm thinking to myself, so they just going to stop the government just going to stop the Illuminati just going to stop the whole government like today, like one day, and just be like, okay, that's it. Go start rounding up everybody now. I'd start killing them all. But then again, hey, man. And, you know, that's why I feel, and it's a shame because it's not going to happen during my generation, but a cleansing of all these older, like, white folk. You know, and no offense, I'm talking about these old people, you know, that still, you know, even though they don't show it, like, outward, they're still stuck in that way inside. Those are the people right now that are running our government. I feel like within 10, 15 years, you know, we may not have that anymore. But it is what it is. You know something? I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live, and I cover boxing. Today, I felt like talking about Ebola or doing just a random video. I said this channel, when I first started, it was going to be 85% boxing. Now it's like 95% boxing. So I'll do a video like this every now and then on some world news or something. Keep the interest going. T-Street Controversy, T-Street Controversy Live.